What's up, guys? All right, in this video, we're going to be talking about how to avoid a sexless marriage or a sexless long-term relationship. This is something that a lot of guys are worried about, or a lot of guys struggle with. I know a lot of you guys are out there and you're having this problem right now because it's such a common problem. A lot of the guys I coach, they are in a sexless marriage. They don't know how they got into it. They don't know how to get out of it. I'm going to tell you about that all in this video. If you guys are just joining me for the first time, I'm John from BulldogMindset.com. On this channel, I teach you how to be a man. All right, I teach you how to build financial independence, how to get the physique you want, how to get the girls you want, how to go from the victim mindset to the Bulldog Mindset. So click that subscribe button if you haven't already. And if you haven't already taken the Bulldog quiz, go up here in the corner. It'll just take you like 5 minutes, 10 questions. It'll give you a score from 0 to 100 and tell you whether or not you have mental toughness. And I'll help you improve that score if you need it. All right, so we're gonna jump right into a question that I got here. All right, and this question says, hello, John, I am a Bulldog Mindset membership subscriber, okay? If you don't know what he's talking about, by the way, real quick, I do have a link down below for $7 for the first month to get into the Bulldog Mindset membership trial. It is a huge community of men. We have over 900 members in there of strong men that are working on improving themselves and becoming top 5% men, all right? Learning how to build a business, how to become financially independent, how to build the physique you want, how to get the girls that you want, and how to be a man who is successful in relationships, in dating, in all the areas of his life, really a top 5% man. Now, if you want to join the community and you want to become a top 5% man, definitely click that link down below. All right, so here's what he says. All right, he says, I've been contemplating a lot on marriage. I am 31 and currently at the crossroads in my life. On the one hand, I know that I want children and a family. On the other hand, I know that most marriages become sexless with time. I love women and sex, and imagining a marriage where I feel sexually indifferent and bored towards my wife is painful. What is your view on this important dilemma that most men will encounter in their lives? It would be great if you could create a YouTube video on this, as I'm sure this video is needed by many men. Okay, so there's two things I'm going to address here, all right? So the first one is the two kind of perspectives, right? So the first one is the most common scenario that you're likely encounter, which is that your wife or your long-term girlfriend loses sexual interest in you, okay? She no longer wants to jump your bones. She no longer wants to have sex with you all the time. She's no longer interested, and she sees it more as a chore, and she just wants you to get it over with, all right? That is most commonly the problem. The second issue I'm gonna address is what the emailer was saying here, where he's worried that he would lose interest in his wife and not see her attractive, or not want to have sex with her. That's also an issue. It's not as big of an issue, and I think that that's a bigger issue than, or less of an issue than, most guys anticipate. Okay, so let's talk about the most important, the first one here, which is the one that most guys are afraid of, and which happens in most relationships, all right, which is that the woman stops becoming sexually interested in the man. So what does this look like? It basically looks like this. It looks like the guy is trying to do all these things to gain sexual favor from the woman, all right? That his girlfriend, his wife, whatever it is, she used to be all into him, and now it seems like she's not really that into him. She nags him, she treats him with disrespect, and she just does not want to have sex with him. And he feels like, what the hell? What did I do? How do I change this? What happened here? And so what he does is he starts doing dishes, giving her a back rub, trying to negotiate these favors that he does in order to get her to have sex with him. Sometimes there's an explicit negotiation happening. It's transactional type of sex, not so good. She's not really into it. And a lot of times he gets rebuffed, right? So maybe they're going to bed and he tries to hint at wanting to do something, and then she rolls over and says, stop poking me in the back. or she says, I got a headache tonight, or I got to get up early tomorrow, or I'm really tired, I'm really sore, whatever it is, some kind of excuse to not have sex. So, all right, let's talk about why this happens. First of all, then we'll talk about how to solve it. So why does this happen? All right, this happens not because it's supposed to happen, not because it's inevitable, but because what happens is that the man stops being a man. All right, when you're probably first dating your girlfriend, all right, you probably were had a lot of other interests, a lot of other things that were going on in your life. Okay, she wasn't the sole thing in your life, and you probably had some backbone. You probably didn't just do whatever she wanted or said, or maybe you did, and you know, maybe that is what your problem is, and it faded really quickly. But probably, you know, she thought that she could lose you. She didn't know that she had you 100%, and you had some other interests. You had things going for yourself, and you were your own person. But what happens a lot of times in long-term relationships, especially guys, is that guys want peace. Okay, and as peacemakers, what they end up doing is they end up doing the wrong thing, which is avoiding conflict and walking on eggshells. I don't know how many guys I've coached that they're walking on eggshells around their wife. You know, you hear that phrase, that really stupid phrase, which is happy wife, happy life. It's such a horrible phrase, because when you think that way, when you have that mentality, right? When you think your wife is the boss, right? And she wears the pants, she is not going to respect you, and she's not going to be sexually attracted to you. Okay. You know, just think about the difference, right? Think about what turns women on, what women are sexually attracted to, right? Women are sexually attracted to a strong, dominant man who's more masculine, who knows his purpose in life, who's on his mission. Okay. Who acts as sort of a rebel almost, you know what I mean? Who has that kind of bad boy type of vibe, all right, and does what he wants in life, all right? That doesn't really care about what other people think of him, but does what he feels is right. That's the thing that women are attracted to, okay? Successful, ambitious guy, all right? So then successful, ambitious guy, right? He gets into this long-term relationship, and suddenly he starts to switch around and say, oh, I don't want to upset the girlfriend. I don't want to upset the wife. So he starts placating her, right? He starts becoming a pleaser, right? He just wants to avoid conflict. He just wants her to not get in a fight with him. So instead of actually like going into the conflict and saying and holding his ground, he starts to give up his ground and gives her control. He makes her the man in the relationship. Okay, and a woman is not going to be attracted to a man in the relationship when she's the man in the relationship, right? So she becomes masculine. He basically becomes more feminine and docile. He's no longer that dominant guy, and of course she's not going to be attracted to him. All right. So as far as how do you fix this problem? All right, it's actually a fairly simple fix, which is you stop avoiding conflict. You stop walking on eggshells, okay? You stop being a pleaser, and you have to be willing to just accept whatever consequences come, okay? You have to become that strong guy again. Again, you know, I was talking about the Bulldog Mindset community. If you haven't already joined that, $7 for the first month, and try it out. And you're going to find it a lot of guys that will help you to become that strong man. Okay, because that's what we talk about in there. I've got videos on there on how to be a man in a relationship. There's a really good book I recommend. David Data is the Way of the Superior Man. That's also, there's a book summary and review in there. So go check it out. Go check that out. Go take a minute right now and check it out and join our community, because you're going to find that stuff out. But, you know, regardless, you have to become that man again who makes his own decisions, and you have to be willing to walk. Okay, and I know that sounds weird, especially in a marriage or something like that. It doesn't mean threatening divorce or any of those things. It just means that you have to be willing to remove your attention, right? So you have to have some boundaries. That's also another good book to read. And you have to say, hey, look, don't talk to me like that. That's not cool. I don't like that. All right. And then if she continues to talk to you like that, then you got to say, all right, and you got to peace out, and you don't get angry, you don't get upset, you just remove your presence, okay? You just remove the attention, all right? You cannot allow that kind of behavior to happen, right? And that disrespect is usually the thing that initially starts that cycle where the woman stops respecting the man, and then he starts trying to please her, right? Because he's avoiding conflict. So when something happens that you don't like, you got to call it out. You got to say you don't like it. Again, you don't have to be an asshole. Don't be an asshole about it, but say it. Say you don't like that. Say what's really on your mind. Don't try and placate her. Don't try and please her. Don't be afraid of her getting angry at you or upset or having some kind of conflict, okay? You have to stop that behavior right now and start being the man and start having other things in your life. If you are making a woman the center of your life, she's not going to be attracted to you. Okay, and she's not going to like that. Instead, you have to have your mission and other things that you're doing in life, and she has to come second to that. Okay, that's very, very important. So go to the gym. Okay, go start building a business. Again, Bulldog Mindset membership. We talk about all those things and give you those other things that you need to be doing in your life in order to be a high value man. It doesn't change when you become married or you get into a long-term relationship. Really important that you understand that. Otherwise, you're going to lose the respect of your woman, and she's not going to be sexually attracted to a man that she doesn't respect and that she doesn't see as masculine, that lets her get all away with everything that she wants to do. Again, you talk about, the shit tests that women give you. They still give it to you when you're in a long-term relationship. They still give it to you when you're married. They will continue to do that to see if you are actually a man. And when you fail those, okay, thinking that, I only need to pass this when I was dating, or I was trying to do some kind of pickup thing. This is why you actually have to become a strong man. Again, this is what we talk about in the Bulldog Mindset membership. Then you end up giving up, and then you become this weak little beta guy that she's married to or in a long-term relationship with, and she's going to not want to have sex with you. And that's where the cheating begins and all of these things that happen that a lot of the guys in different communities talk about. I'm not going to talk about those communities, but this is how this happens. Okay, so how do you fix this problem? Simple. You get a backbone, you stand up for yourself, you start doing what you want to do, and you stop avoiding conflict. Stop walking on eggshells. That's the best advice I can give you, is stop walking on eggshells. Just accept the consequences. Just accept that if you don't like something and you call it out, that she may get angry, and that's fine. She can get angry if she wants. That's cool. She can, no sex tonight. Good. I don't care. I got other shit I need to do in my life. And if you continue with this, then we'll see. Then maybe I'm not going to be here if I'm not going to get what I want out of this relationship. That's your attitude. That's the mindset that you have. Again, you can still love her. You can still care for her. But a lot of times what you'll find, what you're doing is you're doing things that appear to be loving or whatever, but you're just doing them to get something. It's like you're becoming a nice guy again, and that's what nice guys do, and that's why nice guys get friend zoned. So you're friend zoning yourself in a long-term relationship by being the nice guy, by professing your love for her all the time and not and wanting something in return instead of it just being authentic and real, because you're trying to get something. So don't try and get something. And if you want something, say it. Okay, if you want sex, say, I want to have sex with you, or make it very, very clear. Throw it down on the bed, right? Start becoming that dominant, aggressive guy that gets what he wants. And she doesn't want to give you what you want. That's fine. Then you don't get angry. You don't throw a hissy fit. You don't try and negotiate or whine. Instead, you just go and you do something else. And if she continues to do it over time, maybe you have a sit down, you have a talk and say, hey, look, this isn't working out for me. All right. We might have to peace out here. Again, you say, oh, well, what about all the consequences of that, of divorce and kids? And hey, what can I tell you? All right. You could be a guy that has no balls. Okay, that's married to a woman who doesn't respect him, or you can say, "Hey, I'm gonna accept whatever consequences come, but I'm not gonna give up my balls." Like, this is, I gotta have what I want out of life. Life is fucking tough, guys. It's not easy. All right, it's not supposed to be easy. It's not supposed to be fair. But I'm telling you, if you are a strong man in a relationship, most women that are in a relationship with you, or they're going to be attracted to you, they're going to want you. It's going to lead right into what I'm going to talk about next. Is what if you get bored of the girl, like you're used to having different girls, and you really want to have the same woman for the rest of your life and all this. Okay, here's the deal. So most of the reason why you would get bored in a long-term relationship has to do with the same thing that I just talked about, is that she doesn't have that desire for you anymore. So it's kind of boring. The sex is boring. She's not eager to please you. She's not trying to do whatever you want her to do anymore. She's just going through the motions. That's going to be boring, and that's not going to be fun. Now, again, do guys like variety? Sure. Do guys notice attractive women? Sure. But it doesn't mean that you can't have a long-term committed relationship and not be happy. You can be happy with that. You could not be happy. It totally depends on how she treats you. Okay. One of the big things I tell guys when they're considering long-term relationships, when they're considering marriage, okay, because I'm not totally against it. There are some, I definitely am cautious in that realm, but I'm not totally against it. I like this emailer said, he wants to have kids and want to have a family. Look, you're going to have to take some risks in life. All right. Maybe marriage is going to be one of those risks. I know a lot of you guys are like, oh, downvote, blah, blah, blah. All right. Well, whatever, guys. You can do what you want, but there are such things as love in life. There are such things as beautiful, committed connections with people and long-term relationships. There are such things as that, and those things take work and they take risk as well. But regardless, before I get too off topic, my whole point in saying this is that if you're in that kind of relationship, so going back to what I said, is that what I tell guys is the number one important thing about making this kind of decision is, how does she treat you? Does she treat you like a king? If a woman treats you like a king, okay, which means you have to act like a king, which means it doesn't mean being a domineering asshole. It means what I just told you. If you do not walk on eggshells, okay, if you stand up for yourself, if you're a man on your mission on purpose, okay, if you're not avoiding conflict, okay, if you get what you want, if you ask for what you want, if you don't act like a whiny bitch when you don't get what you want, throw temper tantrums, all right, then she's going to treat you like a king, or she's going to be gone before you even get into the stage, right? So you just don't tolerate that kind of disrespect. But if she's treating you like a king, all right, you're probably going to get a lot of sexual interest from her, and that's going to keep things spicy. It's going to keep things interesting. Yeah, it's not the same thing as having the variety that maybe you've had, but I'll tell you this, that there is a trade-off in the sense that what you're going to get is a better sexual experience by being with someone who you know and have a history with and know what they like and they know what you like, and building on that. And you can build something that is better than any random one night hookup. Okay. Now this is the truth. All right. I can tell you this from personal experience, and it's 100% accurate, but most guys do not get to participate in this because they don't step up and become a man. So there is a real risk. There is a real fear of, are you going to be with one woman for the rest of your life or for a very long time? Okay. And you're giving up a lot of things, and you have to understand, if you're going to give up those things, that she better be damn worth it. Okay. You better have something that is really strong, that is a very, very strong connection. And mostly, again, what it comes down to is, how does she treat you? Does she treat you like a king? If she doesn't treat you like a king, it's probably not going to work out. So, all right, guys. One last time, I'll tell you, join the Bulldog Mindset membership if you haven't already, to get more information on this and how to become a really strong masculine man in a relationship. Very critical that you do this. And yeah, guys, don't worry so much about this, as long as you continue to be the guy. This is why I try to teach you guys how to become real men, not just to learn some damn pickup tactics, how to get a girl and how to get a girl attracted to you, because you actually have to be a man in a relationship. Okay. Well, one last tip I'll give you. All right. One bonus tip for you guys that have been sticking around here is this. All right. Which is, when you are in a long-term relationship, okay, one of the big things that you need to do, all right, is that you need to always, okay, be willing to walk, all right, if you're being disrespected. Like, it doesn't matter what the commitment level of that relationship is. If she continues to disrespect you, you need to be willing to walk, all right? And if you're willing to walk, all right, if you have some respect for yourself, then she's going to have respect for you. If you don't have respect for yourself, you cannot expect anyone to have respect for you. So that's really, really important. So have that respect for yourself, and you'll figure it out. You'll figure it out. Okay. And again, you get what you accept. Okay. So if you're in one of these long-term relationships and you have a girl that is no longer, having sex with you, you're having this kind of, situation where you're not getting what you want, you need to make it clear that you're not getting what you want. And you also need to make it clear that you will get what you want one way or another. Okay. Now, again, no threats. You just need to make it very clear. You can make that clear by your actions. You can make that clear by having a clear conversation, saying, hey, look, I got to be honest with you. And this is the thing. And she might fight, she might argue with you, but it doesn't matter. Okay. That's how it is. And I remember, I just stalled for time. All right. Because I had a bonus tip, and then I didn't give it to you. Instead, I gave you something else because I couldn't remember what the bonus tip was, but I remember what the bonus tip is now. So you get a second bonus tip. Okay. The second bonus tip is this. Okay. You need to be able to be a guy that understands women. Okay. And women are emotional, and women will torrent you with an emotional, just a ravagement of torrential downpour. Okay. When they're angry, when they're sad, whatever it is, then you need to be able to just stand there quietly. All right. Like a rock through a hurricane, and just let her vent. All right. If you do that, right, and you can survive that. You don't get angry, you don't get upset, okay? She just wants you to understand, just wants you to hear her. Again, that's not weak. A lot of guys are like, oh, it's not alpha male if I take all this shit. You're not taking the shit, okay? You're just allowing her to say all this stuff that's on her mind to vent. If she's directing it directly at you, then you say, hey, yeah, I'll listen to you, but don't you make me the bad guy. Don't you make me don't you take it out on me. That's my limit. I'm here to listen to you, and don't try to solve the problem. Just listen, just say, oh, that must be rough. That sounds horrible. Tell me more, right? That's it, okay? Again, some of you guys might perceive that as being weak. It's not weak, all right? It's actually being a strong man in a relationship, and you need to learn that skill. If you learn that skill, watch what will happen, all right? And again, what I said before about doing the dishes, picking up the kids, all that kind of stuff to try and get sex. See, if you're doing it that way, you're doing it from a needy perspective. But if you do it from a different perspective, you do it from the perspective of, hey, I just love this girl and I want to do things for her and to make her life better, you're gonna get a lot different result. Just try that. Watch what happens. All right, brothers, take care.